we live? Maybe. Seems to be. Is everything else set up in life? Yes, seems right. Let me just quickly check if it's raining, because I have the wash. This is all stuff I should have done previously, but now that it's started... No, it's just meant to be nice today. Hopefully the wash and dries. Anyway, hello! We are here. Some more WWF 1992. I'm trying out with a bit of a different picture pack. Hopefully everything runs fine. Hopefully everything looks the same. It's just the NGO GIF version that's mildly amusing, edited for. I don't know the lyrics. They look fine, like those for the last TEW game. I don't know how to do this. I just wanted some different pictures. Oh, I'm itching to kind of a kid. Nothing necessarily should have changed. It's more that everything should be more or less the same. Yeah, I'm with that 92 one. So all the other pictures are there. It just means maybe we can now find a different. We modify stable. There should just be a few more bits now. Whether they're any better, who knows, but I don't actually know if there is. I don't know if I set this up correctly. Maybe there is. That feels like more here. Or at least not, there's... Can I just... Hold up, give me a second. Let me try this. Oh yeah, there we go. I was like, please open this one, TW pictures, NGO, stable backdrops. So all the stable pictures are also in stable backdrops. So can I just kind of copy these, because these are the same as just being stables. Yada dee dee dee, perfect. Nice. So if I go, just do, nice. We do have more now. And look at this cool 4 horsemen. It's a stable dragon bombers. Here's a picture. Nice. Save. And this one, if I just do, where would heart be? Who's search for it? So I'm like, where would heart be? There we go. Nice. I don't mind that. I also kind of like the other one. Actually prefer this. I know it's got the pink square around it, but I like the look of it. Anyway. Wrestling Challenge, let's continue. It's Wrestling Challenge. Let's play this game. Our auto booked show. Events. I think we can make this Saturday night's main event dormant. Perfect. I actually can't remember what I was going to do. Sorry, I don't know why I'm all over the place. So, Aztec Trace was unhappy with Superstars Wrestling. That's understandable. Jim Neidhart suffered some broken fingers, but shouldn't really miss anything. Incident Hogan, he's a steroid user. Let's give him a slap on the wrist. I mean, it's Hogan. Actually, really. Oh yeah, I was gonna check if this was our auto book show. We can do this at any point. Wrestling Challenge is our auto book show. I could just do this and be like, alright, you can book that. Alright, book that. Oh, well, there's this again. That seems loud to me. Sorry, this seems to be like a constant source of anxiety. See, that looks fine to me because it's kind of like half of my volume. I don't know what it's meant to be. I did a film degree. Wrestling Challenge. Let's go. Commando Russo. I mostly did this because after realising some of the pictures weren't necessary. Are we still on Sunday? So if we change, did we do a full week on the last stream? Yes, we did. Good. Jim Powers and Earthquake, we're getting on well. Linda has been passed on. See, that looks like a better Linda. Has been passed on tips to Shane. Spicoli and Crush had an argument. Sags got into a clash with Owen. Gina's been hanging out with Louis. See, Louis Spicoli just seems to be getting on with everyone. Butch was brought before Wrestlers Court and found guilty, so I had to buy a case of beer. We don't need to do anything. I would like to, if we can, edit that Shane McMahon picture. If I just do Shane Stevens. Shane McMahon. 1990. Number 1 seems fine. I'd be happy with 1 or 90, but let's do 1. Looks a little better. Same with Rowdy Roddy Piper. Perfect. So we do have a 92 picture, which is this one. Part of me was kind of hoping we had one where he had the belt. So 92 it looks like this. 93, it's a little more scraggly. I actually like this one. I could honestly, it's not a freelancer. I could go through these pictures all day. But anyway, what we got? Wrestling challenge. It's auto book. Let's get through this, man. We're almost on Super Brawl, so Bob Smedley. Sorry. Shit. I just want, just for a bit of context, it is 10 in the morning. Good, keep hitting that microphone, my coffee. 10 in the morning. I don't know what's going on. So start this with a WWF Wrestling Challenge opening. Hype, pre-taped, video, backstage is fine. Now we really get to see other pictures that change. I don't really like that Randy Savage, or that Ted, or that Undertaker. I will say something about the other pictures that we used, is they seemed a lot more higher quality. Which, I mean, I don't mind. Randy Savage. We are in 1992. I like that one. That makes it look fun. So I'm with that one, and I don't really like the Undertaker. Or the Ted. The Ted one was a bad one. We'll replace those, and then we'll get going. That's the thing. If I change the picture pack back now, that's a good one. Then everything's gonna be messed up. Big Ted. Ted Dib. That's a cool one. I like old school Ted DiBiase when he was kind of a bit more of a, I guess, a southern wrestler. 92. I like that one. Anyway, wrestling challenge. We got Papa Shango against Volkov. Let's take Shango over. Happy with both of their pictures. Interview with IRS and Ted DiBiase. So Ted couldn't promote. There was a guy on the roster that I wanted to start using a little more. Just because I feel like we don't really use him as an interviewer. There he is. Michael Porter. So who could they cut a promo on? Who are they kind of feuding with? Tito off screen. And who else? Virgil, I guess. That's fine. 4 minutes. No one needs to be scripted. We need to cut another 5, that's fine. Commentary. So I'm happy with Monsoon and Heenan, yeah. Superstars of Wrestling, they're another thing. Wrestling Challenge, Monsoon and Heenan. I would like to stick, if we can, if no one has an issue, Michael Porter. I think he looks sweet. Interview with IRS and Ted, Dynamite Kid against Owen. Instead, we can do Dynamite Kid against a different half brother. Let's do Ross. Instantly cut that, cut that, cut that. Dynamite Kid. Perfect. Interview with Animal and Hawk. Animal, cut a promo. Perfect as the interviewer. Who are they cutting on? I guess Typhoon and Earthquake. Perfect. Tito against the Warlord. Instead, let's do Tito against B.A. Dalton. Tito can just kind of go over. Oh, that's fine. We can cut B.A. Dalton's match. Alright, so we're at 59 minutes, so we can cut some stuff. Interview with Shawn Michaels and Sherry. Sherry, oh, it's sensational. Sherry cutting a promo on. Look at Marty Jannetty off screen. And let's have Reverend Slick as the interviewer. So we have Skinner, Martel and Repo against Virgil and the Von Erichs. Instead, let's have Skinner, Horowitz and Repo against the Von Erichs and Davey Boy. We can cut 2 minutes off that, I guess. Happy with those pictures. If anything, I wouldn't mind changing Kerry's. Oh, sorry, Kevin's. So if we do Kevin, Von, oh, just isn't much, is there? Alright, looks best on that one. And let's stick the Boodog over. We then have an interview with Mountie. That's fine. Let's have... Who do we have on the roster that's what would their role be? On-screen personality? Jameson. Let's have Mike McGurk. Oh, my mouse is going mad there. Mike McGurk, the interviewer, talking about Roddy and the shit man. Book. And the main event, let's have Hulk Hogan take on Smedley. Hulk, jobs are good, send the fan zone happy. 61%, so would not be penalised. All looks good. Booking analysis, that's fine. Just need to make sure this is a B show. Happy. So we got the WWF Wrestling Challenge opening. Looking through that, the only picture I'm not necessarily happy with is Slaughter's. Shango defeated Volkov in 2:53 with a voodoo driver. Interview with IRS and Ted. Dynamite Kid defeated Ross Hart in 36 seconds with a diving headbutt. Got an interview with Animal and Hawk. Tito defeated Dalton in 4:07 with a figure 4. Interview with Michaels and Sherry. Bulldog and the Von Erichs defeated Skinner, Witz and Repo when Bulldog pinned Witz with a running power slam. I can't wait till Kerry's out of this personal funk. Interviewed the Mountie. Hogan defeated Smedley in 8:31 with a big leg drop. That was the end of it. Sorry, I was just too invested in it. Financial report, 26. Happy. We now have WWE main event. Guess who was prepared for this? This guy. So, Sunday the 23rd. I believe on the last one was the tag match. 216, we're past that. Are we? Yes. 223, here we go. Then the next one's 3-1. So, Sting defeated Chuck Coates in a minute. Prior to the match, Sting cut a promo on Lex Luger about Super Brawl 2. No one gets the night off. The venue is the Midwest, I believe. Locker room incidents. Sato's turned up, that's fine. Harley Race has been talking to Morton, and that was some kind of influence. Gordon Soley was in fine form with some hilarious stories. And did some training. Dusty passed on tips to Dustin. Rip got into an argument with Tony. We don't need to address the locker room. But speaking of addressing and stuff, stables. Half ton of holy hell. That all looks fine. Dangerous Alliance. Now I'm just curious. Yep, Dangerous Alliance, happy with that. Happy with that picture as well. Diamond Mine. Everything's more or less the same. Is there any other kind of... I doubt there's necessarily like a stable thing. I like the Legion of Doom one though. Harley Race is kind of boys. The guys. No, not really, but fine with it. There was a picture on someone I didn't like. Stable? Lex's. I'd also like to change Medusa's and Paulie's and recruit. Oh, they're downstood. So Medusa. I kind of need a more of a Healy 92. Yeah, that's fine. Paul Heyman. Is there a dangerously... What else were we going to just Heyman? That one's a lot better. Rick Rude. I'm fairly sure Rude didn't look like this in 92. The Halloween Phantom. Way too much. Rick Rude. There we go. 1992. Oh, 93. Oh, he did have... Let me Google this. Rick Rude had short hair in 1992. You know, I just did not know that. Alright, that's fine. I'm actually happy with that one. Oh, Lex. Lex was the main one. I think it's hard to find a good Lex picture, if I'm completely honest. I actually think that is a good one. That one's fine with me. What was that? Was that a Dory Funk picture that looked... Oh no, that's fine. I don't know who I clicked on then that... Didn't look very good. That's fine. Let me just change Benoit. I'm sorry to do this. This is probably the most boring part. My favourite. I'm actually happy with that one. I do absolutely want to change Cactus Jack's. Cactus Jack. I like that one. And finally, there was actually one more person. Or was there not? I don't know. We'll get round to it. Again, like we had a better call-off picture before, but I like having the options so we can change it. Yeah, I'm up with that one. Anyway, let's continue before I get obsessed doing this main event. Here we go. So we have a Sting match straight away. So Sting. He looks fine. Can take on heel, male, Bob Cook, I guess. Have we done this match? No. Shocking. 1 minute, and it is a Sting victory. We need instantly a WCW main event opening. 3 minutes. Hype. So I'm so sorry every time that happens. Pre-tape video. Can I complain and say I don't like Steamboat either? And Jesse Ventura. That's fine. I will eventually. I will definitely do more of this off camera. Let's find Steamboat. Yep. And Jesse. See, to me, that's the. I might be completely wrong. She's like not a 92. Jesse. I guess he did. Jesus. Where's. I can't like that one. Not in Predator. Yeah, let's stick with that one. Alright. So, see main event opening. Sting cuts a promo on his match against. Sting cuts a. We don't insert promo on his match against. So, Sting, just straight, cut a promo on Lex. Is Magnum TA's manager? You know we have to change this. Yeah, perfect. So, where is Sting? I'd like to make his manager Magnum TA. We're definitely going to do this while we're here as well. If anyone wants to skip ahead just like 20 minutes, I'll just do them all. Magnum TA was so, yeah, man. It's absolutely wild and... Oh. I actually do think that one's sweet, if I'm honest. Also, hello Timu, how are you? Hope you're doing well. You're here on time today. I appreciate that. There's a way you're like, gotta go, see you later. Oh yeah, shit. Wyndham and Simmons defeat Anne and Bobby. With that said, Timu, I'm going to end the stream here. Thanks for that. I'm only joking. Let me have a little bit of fun. Wyndham pinned an... What? Barry Windham and Ron Simmons defeated Anne and Bobby when Wyndham pinned an interfering Zbyszko with a punch from his taped up right hand, after an assist from an interfering Dustin Rhodes. Of course. Sorry, team. You know me, a little bit of trouble. Speaking of a little bit of trouble, the diamond stud, that needs to change. Would that be under Scott Hall? Scott Hall... Actually, I'm more than happy to have like this looking Scott Hall in the diamond stud stable. I mean... Yeah, whatever. Let's just have... No, even not. No, yeah, Barry Windham and Simmons. Again, this is like a what? Like, I maybe need to start watching main event because they regularly, outside of the stuff that is squatches and Big Josh matches, they have some good stuff on. This is about a 10-minute match. I'm actually happy with all these pictures. Let's just have Barry Windham win, but it's a flash pinfall. Yeah. Who is it? Al Anderson. Yeah. Swap to Crockett. No tag matches. So nothing really happens after the match. So Vinny Vegas pins Big Josh. Hayes and Garvin defeats Richard. I just need to focus on one thing at a time. It's because this main event results as just one big Word document that like isn't spaced between shows. So anytime I'm trying to find something, it's a nightmare. Yep, Vinny Vegas can take on Face Male. He can just beat Big Josh. Why is Big Josh still? I know Big Josh is yet to be Doink, but like, I'm torn on Doink, if I'm honest. I'll probably use him. Life will probably be fine. As if life would be an issue if I made Doink. But I just don't know how much I care. Heel Doink, yeah, do care. Face Doink, so see the match. Freebirds defeat Rich and Morton. Instead, I'll just have the Freebirds take on Face Male. Let's just do Chip and Champion again. Have we done this match? We have, and it got 43, and that's fine. I'm happy to stick Hayes over. Part of me's actually excited to book the Freebirds in WWF when, hopefully with a Terry Gordy that's a bit more reliable. And then Dustin against Cactus Jack. Dustin going over. I bet we can make this a wild brawl. That's fine. We don't necessarily have any more angles to put in on this show. But with a Super Brawl to add, we can just kind of pad out the gaps, if I'm honest. Pre-taped, hype, video. Perfecto. We can I auto book an angle? Why? There you go. Interview with Brian Pillman on Jushin and Robinson. Since we'll make that a triple threat Super Brawl. Since they kind of retconned that with a match where I can't remember who it was. It was someone I wasn't pushing that won an #1 contenders match. Let's have Tony as the interviewer, with Jushin off screen and Billy Robinson off screen. Perfect, perfect. Stick that here, and then I guess we can do one more angle. Just have had an interview with Tully Blanchard. I'll put it in. I must book one more minute. How's that? Fans are expecting 65% matches. I'm currently at 69. Perfect. 69 who? Who's Lance Russell? That name rings a bell. Oh, commentator. Do we have Lance Russell actually commentating? We go to commentary. So events, Jim Ross, Dusty and Shivani, happy with that. WCW is just Jim Ross. Let's have GR. Gordon Soley is used a lot. Lance Russell isn't. We could do with a little bit more colour, which I guess would be Magnum TA. Save. Main event. Shivani and Magnum, that's fine. Shivani and GR, it's also fine. I think we can also stick on Eric Bischoff on Power Hour. Let's run this. So we got WCW main event opening. Usual jazz. Sting defeated Bob Cook in 44 seconds with the Stinger Splash. Sting then cut promo on his match against Lex Luger at Super Brawl 2. Wyndham and Simmons defeated Ann Eaton when Wyndham pinned Eaton with a roll-up. just a very good 5-minute interview with Tully Blanchard. Vegas defeated Big Josh in 310 with the snake eyes. Interview with Brian Pillman on Jushin and Billy Robinson. The Freebirds defeated the Patriots when Hayes pinned Chip with a Bulldog. Super Bowl 2 ad. And Dustin defeated Cactus with a running Bulldog. Nice. Financial report, made 13. Jimmy James not looking good there, my brother. Oof. Happy Shrove Tuesday. Happy Pancake Day today. I will not be partaking in pancakes. I will be making Indian dosas, which I guess is more of a savoury potato-filled pancake. Masala dosa. Just in case anyone's wondering. Yeah, so yeah, as part of in my head sometimes I hate like dating these episodes when I say them aloud. Never doubt El Dandy. But gotta wish the boys a did everyone change? Gotta wish the boys a happy pancake day. It was Billy Robinson that I wanted to check. I'm happy to have 53-year-old Billy Robinson. Oh, I prefer the other picture. Don't know if we can get that back. Yes, there is actually. Where are we? Nope, not that one. People. Let's keep both of these. We can set this up. Perfect. So if I go back on this, we should have our picture. Nice. I also feel like I need to change. God, I'm doing so much. I can only just apologise. There you go, that's fine. That works well as a referee. Alright, let's just advance next show, which I believe is Super Bowl 2. Ken Shamrock has took an MMA fight. That's fine, he's just kind of in developmental at the moment. What's going on? Incident with Hawk, steroid user, stern warning. Don't necessarily need to have any issues come of it. What's up next? Primetime Wrestling. We do have Primetime Wrestling prepared and up. It's main event I can now close. That's Super Bowl, Saturday night. Primetime Wrestling. Job's a good one. Vince McMahon moderates the panel, which features Monsoon, Slick, Heenan, and Perfect. With Perfect promises WF champion Ric Flair is going to give Savage a lesson in wrestling at WrestleMania. So no one gets the night off. We are advancing to the Midwest. Locker room instance. Sato wants to hang out again, that's fine. Doug Summers wants to hang out again. No bother in the world. Wits did some karaoke. Mountie and Janetti got in an argument. Snooker's not very nice to Owen. Neither is Repo Man. How are you going to make me address the locker room? Perfect promises Flair is going to give Savage a lesson in wrestling. So I just kind of do Mr. Perfect, putting a promo along with Vince on Randy Savage and Ric Flair. Perfect. Straight in with an angle. WF Prime Time Wrestling. Opening. 4 minutes. The usual kind of video. So I was previously working on a 2007 mod at one point. And part of me is kind of tempted to pick it back up again and just kind of play it on here. There's a almost level of beta testing, like have a Word document open and kind of write some stuff down that goes on while that's happening, if anyone would think that's a good idea. TEW pins Hercules in 6 minutes. Doesn't seem to be any mid-roll promos. Where is Tito? There we go. You can just take on heel, male, Mustafa. I know I've only done it once, but I feel like I regularly run this match. Tito can just go over. Why is Mustafa that unhappy? See, this is how he always stays like this. He's just like, I'm unhappy, and I'm like, ah, yeah, no, that's fine. Tito can beat Haku then. Gene Oakland's update segment recaps the WrestleMania double main event. So it's Gene Oakland putting a promo on Hulk. We can have them on character development because I'm sure videos are shown. Hulk, Sid, Randy Savage, and Ric Flair. You can improvise, Hogan. We go down, Papa Shango's squash from Wrestling Challengers. The Bushwhackers defeat Skinner and Brawler in a 2v2. Absolutely not doing that. So instead, let's do a 2v2. I'm actually willing to do... Let's do the Von Erichs against the Powers of Pain. Have Kerry go over. And then instead of after the match, Skinner argues with Brawler until the Bushwhackers attack them from behind. We can do after the match. The Nasty Boys storm the ring. They argue with the Powers of Pain until the Von Erichs attack them and force them to flee from the ring. So, after the match, the Nasty Boys storm the ring. They argue with the Powers of Pain until the Von Erichs attack them and force them to flee. Nice. So, Kevin, Kerry, the Barbarian, and the Warlord. And then we have Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sags. 4 minutes. Jobs are good. Shawn Michaels squash airs, but instead we have a Berserker squash match that I'm happy to do. In fact, let's do a 3v3 squash match. Heel, male. Let's have Hercules. Exclude already booked. We have Berserker and Typhoon against Face Men, Costello, Butch and Luke. Happy to make this 5 minutes, and I want to stick Hercules over. I like horses, that's the thing. Panelists discuss footage of past WrestleMania moments. So instead, this can just be our usual kind of little hype video. It's nice to have some popular... How long is... Is it the 1st of March that the Ultimate Warrior is back? Nope. Oakland does the WrestleMania 8 report. It's good with me. Again, more or less the same. Let's have, this time though, the Top Boys and the well-known men. Funny Jack Tunney, Jerry Lawler. we need to change that Michael's picture. Hi, pre-taped video. No, sorry. And we can make it improvised. I feel like we are kind of... We're getting better at this. I feel like at the start I was kind of figuring my way around. But now, I at least like to think I'm kind of... It's a little quicker for us to get through shows, know what's going on, know the wrestlers I want to put through. Heenan predicts that Brett will beat Roddy Piper for the IC title at WrestleMania. Because Brett will not want to go back to Calgary to tell his father he lost to a man in a skirt. Slick says it's a tough match to call, which Perfect slams, saying Sick only likes Piper because Piper has a dream. God, they really like to push some of these gimmick. Mania, so let's have Bobby Heenan in a promo, Reverend Slick, and Mr. Perfect on Roddy Piper, Brett, and the Mountie. Nice. Brett defeats the Mountie via DQ after the Nasty Boys interfere. After the bell, the Nasty's effort to double team Piper is cut short by Roddy, who makes the save. So Brett and the Mountie. Perfect. Bret Hart. It's a DQ finish after interference from... We can do Bo and Blake Beverly. Stick that here. So after the bell, the Beverly's... How do you spell it? Don't probably know that. The Beverly's effort to double team Brett is cut short by Roddy Piper, Owen, and Jim making the save. When the heels head to the locker room, Brett picks up Piper's IC belt off the canvas and Piper gets in his face, grabbing the belt back. So Bo, Blake, we need the Mountie, Brett, Roddy, Jim, and Owen Hart. It's probably going to be improvised because of Piper. Perfect. A replay of Randy Savage Jake Roberts match from Saturday Night Main Event airs, along with Roberts' attack thwarted by The Undertaker. We could probably use this moment to turn Undertaker face. Maybe that comes later. Rick Martel defeats Tornado with a flare pin on 8:34. After the match, Tornado picks up Arrogance and chases Martel back to the locker room. We already have a match like that, so instead, let's just have Rick Martel win a match. So we do like Rick Martel here. Man just keeps making his way up the card against Face, Male, Crush. Let's have a Rick Martel victory. We don't need to do the little post-match angle. I can also go here. McMahon accuses Heenan and Perfect of playing mind games with Savage because they don't have any information they could use against him before WrestleMania. Then Ted and IRS get a quick 3-minute victory. Lord Alfred Hayes hypes Ted DiBiase and fellow IRS as a threat to the Legion of Doom. If that's already called, and so is... What a rush. I guess we could end that storyline. Add Ted and IRS to this. So 2v2 teams, Money Inc. taking on Face Males. Take on Duggan Snooker. Stick Ted over. Monsoon says that WS and Arrow have a good future in the ring. Heenan concurs and says that he does not care because he does not manage them. He can do that. Lord Alfred Hayes hypes WSE and the IRS fellow as a threat to the Legion of Doom. Yes, Lord. Promo. Ted and IRS can be on character development, I guess, since they're in the ring. On Animal off screen and Hawk off screen. 3 minutes. That can kind of be close to the end of the show. The Duggan Slaughter Squash, the Beverleys from main event is shown. Panelists discuss some more WrestleMania moments. The Nasty Boys pick up a win, which I think we can have them fine squeezing in somewhere. They can take on Face Dudes, Virgil and Volkov, the team that everyone loves. 5 minutes. Knobs over. I know at some point I said that, oh, I guess Virgil's in a storyline, but maybe he is, maybe he isn't. What's going on? Nothing, just building up the Nasty Boys. Tune in next week. Job's a good one. Is there like a nicer photo of Knobs and Sags? Something a bit more 92-y. I kind of like that one. Jerry Sags. Which one was it? This one? I think. No, it's a black background. If I check on them as a team, where is it? Yeah, black background. Seriously, I like teams to have matching pictures, okay? Sags. He doesn't have one like that. Maybe that's the closest. Oh god, that's such an awful picture. I just hate the Nasty Boys so much. Let's have these just weirdly slightly faded ones. While we're here, we can update Lola. Jerry Lawler, 90s. Yeah, that's fine, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. And then, where is the Knobsonator? Is it this one? We go on the match. Yeah, there we go. Job's a good one. All looks good. This show is over. 64%, so we'll not be penalised. Primetime Wrestling is a B show, so we have nothing to worry about. So let's run it. Ooh. So let's run it. We got the WWF Primetime Wrestling opening. Tito defeated Haku in 5:58 with a flying forearm smash. Perfect promises that Ric Flair is going to give Savage a wrestling lesson at WrestleMania. Rick Martel defeated Crush with a Boston Crab in 3:33. Okerlund's WrestleMania update segment recaps the WrestleMania double main event. The Von Erichs defeated the Powers of Pain when Kerry pinned the Warlord with the Iron Claw. The Nasty Boys storm the ring and they argue with the Powers of Pain until the Von Erichs attack them and force them to flee from the ring. The Dragon Bombers of Typhoon, Hercules and Berserker then defeated Costello and the Bushwhackers when Hercules submitted Butch the full Nelson. The panelists discuss footage from past WrestleMania moments. The Nasty Boys defeated Virgil and Volkov when Knobs pinned Volkov with a trip to Nastyville. Oakland does the WrestleMania 8 report. Brett defeated the Mountie in 6:13 when the Mountie was disqualified when Bo ran in and attacked Brett. After the match, the Beverleys' effort to double team Brett is cut short by Piper, Owen and Jim making the save. When the heels head to the locker room, Brett picks up Piper's IC belt off the canvas and Piper gets in his face, grabbing the belt back. Heenan predicts that Brett will beat Piper for the IC Championship at WrestleMania because Brett will not want to go back to Calgary and tell his father they lost to a man in a skirt. Ha ha ha. Money Inc. defeat Duggan and Snooker in 10 minutes when Ted defeated Snooker with the Cobra Clutch. Lord Alfred Hayes hypes DiBiase and IRS is a threat to the Legion of Doom. Financially, lost 169. You win a little lose. So, ideally on this show, on the stream, I still want to book Super Brawl Saturday night and maybe Superstars of Wrestling. I think the three of them are on the same night. Oh, should not have done that to turn the music off. If I go back, are we just still back on? No, we're on a different one. I can't remember necessarily where we got up to. So this will be fine. Nightmare Freddy and Akira Fukuzawa got into an argument in All Japan. Cactus Jack picked up a sprained ankle. Jose Estrada's going huge. Huge. Who do I think I am? Oh, the Viking and David Sammartino. JJ Dillon thinks Virgil lacks charisma and Wurzel likes Jerry Saggs. You're the only one. Ted has been identified as who abuses painkillers, so let's fine him. I wish he was happy about that. Everything seems more or less fine. Always got a little bit of trouble going on. Oh, Andre the Giant. Big old Japan Giant. What was I going to bring him? Oh, I was going to bring him back in the Giant Gonzalez kind of thing. And then him losing to Taker at WrestleMania would be his, like, retirement for me. That's fine. I would like to hire him. Provided this isn't... the end of it. As in, like, Friday doesn't retire. He currently works for All Japan. Oh, thank God, I was working soon because I have hotkeys. Andre the Giant. Handshake, yes, can we negotiate? Honestly, just a handshake per show, no ironclad. In fact, written per month. For the next 9 months. Yeah, Mage TV, that's fine. Ah, in fact, handshake per show. No ironclad. Yes. We'll do that. Hopefully you can still go. Let's just advance to the next show. So I think we'll be booking Superstars of Wrestling first, then Saturday night. Well, not Saturday night. It's World Championship Wrestling, but I only have Saturday night results, so we'll just run off that. And then Super Bowl 2. What is the Blog of Doom Wrestling News update? Ray Fenix out of AEW roster. Me and You against John Cena and Travis Scott, NFL legend pitches SummerSlam match. Pat Vakashvi issues follow-up following criticised Elimination Chamber comment. Then Io Sky or Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair's WrestleMania 41 opponent confirmed. I keep thinking, oh, I'll go back to the modern day WWE save, but I just hate it, man. It's just, I look at modern day WWE and some of it's really cool, and then I just see Prime shit and advertising everywhere, and I know I don't have to book that. I know I don't have to do anything with that. Just hate it. Cactus Jack is going to be out for a week with a sprained ankle. Can he wrestle? Because he's on Super Brawl. Cactus Jack can only work angles 2 days. He is missing his Super Brawl payday. Oh, WCW, stay on that. Commentary. Take Dusty off, I think, and replace him with Ventura. Same for WCW. Let's replace TA since he's on the other show. Nice. And then WWF. Jim Neidhart's fully fit. If we check our absences. So Ultimate Warrior is back tomorrow. Jaka Nakanori. Kato's back in 18 days. Mr. Perfect's out for another 185. Brutus is out for another 300. So what do we have? I imagine we'll have Superstars wrestling first. We do. Oop. Our venue for tonight, we are still in the Midwest. Booking team, we don't have anything. Locker room incidents. Tanaka was brought before wrestler's court and Piper found him guilty and to buy beers for everyone after the show. Skinner and Luke created a fun karaoke. Bruce has been passing on tips to Owen. Colonel Mustafa was not happy with Owen. Sid Justice annoyed Bob Bradley by mocking his lack of popularity. Briscoe gave him a slap on the wrist. Dale Wolf has an idea. Kerry Von Erich has a creative finish. Thank you. Superstars of Wrestling. What's going on? Your hosts are Vince McMahon and Mr. Perfect. They removed Jim from the opening montage and replaced him with Tatanka. This week, Jake Roberts is guest on the Funeral Parlor. Also, there are new tag team champions we will learn about during the update. Is this the right day? Yeah, February 29, 92. He had that incident with Arn that he didn't start. Right, that makes more sense. Yeah. Oh, hopefully Sid will chill out a bit. We have a WWF Superstars of Wrestling opening. So I'm so happy to hopefully able to push Sid to the moon. Whether it's in I'll happily have him go to WCW and be in WWF and stuff. I just want the best for Sid. Love him. Book. Nice. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. We instantly have a Tito Santana squash match. The answer to talk about Matador's WrestleMania match against Shawn Michaels. Which I guess that's now the storyline for Heartbreak Kid. I wonder why they didn't do Jannetty against Michaels at WrestleMania. So Tito just taking on heel, male. Repo Man. Have I done this match? I've never. Nice. 2 minutes. Tito goes over. Shawn promises to do a Mexican hat dance around Matador's head, then proclaim himself the man of the 90s and the sexiest man alive. Nice, getting Shawn Michaels over. So Shawn, not playing the victim. Shawn cuts a promo, and so does Sensational Sherry on Tito. Off screen. I guess he can be on character development, actually. I guess maybe Marty was probably out being a troublemaker. So we then get the WWF update with Gene Oakland. We learn that prior to natural disasters against the Legion of Doom tag match in Denver, Jimmy Hart said due to the fact that one of LOD was hurt, Hawk, they should replace the disasters with someone else so that disasters can face LOD at full strength. Oakland said that Ted and IRS are the new champions. And Oakland said Hart took money and screwed over the disasters, who never gave Hart a consent form from their match. Ted DiBiase then made disasters against DiBiase and IRS for the belts at WrestleMania. We hear from DiBiase and IRS, now known as Money Inc., as they call out the disasters, as Hart says the disasters have their faults. So at this point, just completely off screen, Jimmy Hart is no longer managing. He can manage the Mountie. Ignore other managers' clients. So he can also manage them. So instead, he can manage Ted DiBiase and IRS instead. Save, perfect. So he's no longer a member of the Dragon Bombers. Stable, modify stable. Jimmy Hart is officially out. So I guess that makes the new oh, there is just no new deputy. I guess the deputy can be Earthquake since he's the highest member. So instead of that, we have a 4-way tag team as tonight's main event. Papa Shango match, Texas Tornado wins, Kato, yep. Let's have the Legion of Doom. Let's have the Natural Disasters. Let's have Money Inc. And I guess the Von Erichs, they can be in this match. For the World Tag Team. Yeah, it's fine. Make this storytelling. With Victor, Ted DiBiase, we can make the loser be Typhoon. After outside interference finish by Jimmy Hart. Nice. Then the Legion of Doom never get pinned, so that's a good one. That's fine. All is good. So we don't need to do WWF report. Instead, we have Repo Man against Don Richter. Virgil cuts in a promo. Don't necessarily need to care about that. Instead, let's have. I want to do right. Instead of that match, I'm going to do Team Lewis and Stevens taking on the Bushwhackers. 3 minutes. Maniac Mark goes over. I'm happy. There's that in. Put that here. We then have the New Foundation winning a squash match. No insert promo there. But this match right here of the New Foundation against Todd Owen and Chris Germany, which the New Foundation won in 2 minutes, was the final appearance of the New Foundation, as Night Out was fired a couple of weeks before this aired. So their feud with the Beverleys is over, and was not even brought up on commentary. Perfect. So 2v2 instead. We can maybe swap stuff out. Let's have the New Foundation take on Heel Mill. Where does Jim go after? Jim Neidhart. He then WWF until 92. He goes to WCW for a bit. Yeah. And then returns back at King of the Ring 94. That's fine, we can do that. He refused to take a drug test and threw a TV monitor backstage. We love that. Let's just have them beat heel, male, exclude Bucks. Let's do Sonny Blaze and Dale Wolf. Yeah, it's felt like a match we would have already done. And as usual, we'll stick Bowen over. Nice. But then, what else? Papa Shango gets a win over Larry Williams. Where is Papa Shango? Heel, male. Shango can beat Tanaka. Have we done this match? We have not. That's fine with me. Stick Shango over. After the match, Shango shakes his bone necklace over Williams and talks about opening the gate. Over Tanaka. So storyline, the Voodoo Man, let's just add Tanaka in the supporting. Papa just cutting a promo on Tanaka. Non-speaking role. Perfect. Boop. Happy. Stick that in. WrestleMania report with Gene Oakland. We once again hear from Flair and Perfect about the surprise they have in store for Savage. So Gene, I guess, is the interviewer with Mr. Perfect cutting a promo and Ric Flair on Randy Savage. 4 minutes. Stick that down here. Texas Tornado beats Kato. We don't need to do that match. So instead we can do Dynamite Kid beats Duggan. Have we done this match? Yeah, we've done it once. They got a fine enough response. Dynamite Kid goes over. Oop. Put that here. This was certainly brief, and it was Tornado's last TV match until mid-April, as he was in rehab following an arrest for forging prescriptions. We get the funeral parlour with guest Jake Roberts. Bearer brings up what happens at SummerSlam when Jake were in the wedding reception of Savage and Elizabeth. Then, when Jake's King Cobra bit Savage, Bearer talks about Jake making Elizabeth beg at this Tuesday in Texas when Jake was about to hit Savage or Liz with a chair at Saturday Night Main Event. But Jake cut off Bearer and asks whose side he's on and wants to speak to Taker. We then hear Undertaker's music hits as he pops out from behind a coffin. Jake wants to know who the hell Undertaker thinks he is and whose side he's on, but Taker stares at the urn. Undertaker tells Jake not yours in response to which side he's on, and Jake smiles and steals the urn. Jake puts the urn inside the coffin, then shuts the door on the top of Undertaker's hand. With Undertaker stuck, Jake then hits a DDT on Bearer as the Undertaker is unable to move. Jake then grabs a chair and uses it to beat Undertaker as the crowd boos. Jake then grabs the mic but sees Undertaker back up on his feet. He taunts Undertaker before hitting him with a chair, then Jake punches Taker in the ribs. Jake goes to speak again, but Undertaker stands up once more. Jake then calls Undertaker a freak before using the chair again, but Taker is now dragging the casket towards Jake and shrugs off the chair shots. Jake hammers away on Taker, who cannot be stopped as he backs Jake up the aisle. Several agents come out as Jake goes backstage while Undertaker follows. Nice. So we can use this segment. So the Undertaker, Jake Roberts, Paul Bearer, with Randy Savage off screen and Miss Elizabeth off screen. So if we do storyline, Where is Snakebite? We can now remove these. So if we... No. Fair to Flare has Randy Savage in a major role. And reply a major role Snakebite. We can literally just change that to... Let's move these. So add worker, Paul Bear in a major role. Jake Roberts in a major role. And then Randy Savage supporting, and it's Elizabeth supporting. Since it's already a hot angle. So let's use this to turn The Undertaker and Paul Bearer. Perfect. Close that. Book. Nice. Put that main event, I guess. Put that here. We have Slaughter and Duggan winning a 2v2. It's fine, we can squeeze that in. How long have we got? 21 minutes. Easy. So, face male. Instead, let's do Bossman and Bulldog. Taking on heels, Skinner and Mustafa, I guess. I'll stick Bulldog over. The British Boomer. Little short one. Perfect. And then, I know that's a main event, but it's a short main event. Let's have... Who's here? Slaughter. Who's a main event heel? Flair against Slaughter? Is that a match we've done? Yeah, I got 78, that's perfect. Also 15 minutes. Ric Flair. Storytelling. At ringside, Hulk, Sid, and Randy Savage, just all around it. Nice, that's fine. We end with a WrestleMania advert. Hype, pre-taped, video. Let's just do, I will do both. Nice. Improvised. Dynamite. Big concert. End the Hart family from within. 2 minutes. We have Gene as the interviewer. Dynamite. Cutting a promo on Rich Bulldog off screen. Stick that here. The Dragon Bombers match. Jimmy Hart plotting with Ted and IRS. So Typhoon, not Earl Hebner, Earthquake, Barbarian, Berserker, Warlord, Hercules, Jimmy Hart, Ted, IRS. Just 3 minutes. Make it backstage. It's fine, we can change it. We have a double match down here, and then everything else actually looks fine. Singular minute. Yep. Oh, we have a double match up here. That's fine. Jimmy Hart's a bit unhappy. It's fine. 65% matches. I'm currently at 7-3, so I will not be penalised. Minute. Improvised. Add an angle. Day, night, main, event, recap. It's a 1 minute hyped, pre-taped video, improvised, and I'm just gonna do these. Nice. Stick that between those two matches. And everything else actually looks fine. Book and analysis we're happy with. Typhoon slightly overused, but I don't believe that can even happen. We got Superstars of Wrestling opening, which did well. TEW defeated Repo in 143 with a flying forearm smash. Sean promises to do a Mexican hat dance around Matador's head, then proclaims himself as the man of the 90s and the sexiest man alive. In a terrible match, Lewins and Stevens defeat the Bushwhackers, when Maniac Mark submitted Butch with a sleeper. We got the WrestleMania report with Gene. We once again hear from Flair and Perfect about the surprise they have in store for Savage. The New Foundation defeated Sonny Blaze and Dale Wolf, when Owen submitted Blaze with a sharpshooter. The Dragon Bombers catch Jimmy Hart plotting with Ted and IRS. And then Papa Shango defeated Tanaka with a voodoo driver. Shango shakes his bone necklace over Tanaka and talks about opening the gate. Dynamite defeated Duggan in 4-3 with a diving headbutt. We then get the funeral parlour in which Jake, we've already spoke through all of this, but Jake, tax taker who decides to turn on him, takes out Bearer. Unstoppable. Can't believe this only got 68. Bossman and Bulldog defeated Skinner and Mustafa when Bulldog pinned Mustafa with a running power slam. Dynamite Kid promises to end the Hart family from within, and then we get Saturday night's main event recap. In a decent match, Money Inc. defeated the Legion of Doom, the Natural Disasters and the Von Erichs, when Ted submitted Typhoon with a Cobra Clutch following interference from Jimmy Hart, as Money Inc. win the WWF World Tag Team titles. I thought I put an angle here. Anyway, Flair defeated Slaughter in 1451 with a figure 4. We then get a WrestleMania advert. God damn it! We're going to lose one of these TV deals, if I'm honest. All because of these chuffing... Wait, Power Hour, that's fine. Because of these chuffing storyline bits. We're expecting 27. I'm happy in the southeast, actually. Since we got a pay-per-view tonight as well. Al Green's turned up. Tommy Lane might not view a one night only deal. Rocky King, yeah. Probably might use you, might not. Arn Anderson did some training drills. Joey Maggs has a creative finish. Tony Schiavone tried to bring the Diamond Stud in some team building, but he annoyed him. But Schiavone did some spot on impressions, that's fine. Hayes brightened the backstage area by simply being cheerful. Gibson gave the locker room a lift with some spot on impressions. And all's good. We don't need to address the locker room. This is our auto-booked show. No title matches, let's book the whole show. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Boop, boop. Here. We can add one more match to this as well. We can do a 2v2. I didn't even click on it. WCW Power opening. For 3 minutes is fine. All the main men. Perfect. Quickly add a match. Let's do 2v2. Let's have La Pareja del Terra take on, I guess, faces, males. Who do we bring in? Tommy Lane. You can be with the Italian Stallion and lose in 3 minutes, I guess. Stick Guerrero over. You don't mind? I need to quickly stick the kettle on because I need to boil some pasta in a bit as soon as this stream's over. Oh, this is the pasta for lunch. look, sometimes we get the streams where everything's professional, doing work, everyone's happy. Sometimes we get the streams where I need to do life jobs in between booking shows. Video featuring Scott and Rick Steiner. Scott Steiner, Rick Steiner. Subject of video. Woo away. Woo. Who are they feuding with? I guess the Freebirds. And Bobby, as well as Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin. Let's have Big Josh lose to heel, male, DDP. 4 minutes, DDP over. Interview with Barry Windham, that's fine, he's cutting that promo on Larry Zbyszko. El Gigante can lose to heel, male, Vinny Vegas. I'm not even going to push like Vinny Vegas and Scott Hall in this kind of best viewers on steamboo.com, remove the spaces. I will pay for my followers. I'm not even going to push Vinny Vegas and Scott Hall in this specific save, but, well, in this WCW, they will obviously go on to be Razor Ramon and Scott Hall in, well, Razor Ramon and Diesel, so they need building up anyway. Where's Mr. Hughes? He can lose to face Jushin Liger in a match that I don't know if I'm ever going to see. Interview with, instead of Nikita, let's just do Sting and Magnum TA. So Sting cutting a promo, Magnum on Lex off screen and Harley Race off screen. Perfect. And then let's have a 2v2 of, in fact, a 3v3 of Greg, Terry Taylor's fine, and heel, male. Greg, Terry, and Johnny against faces. Exclude already booked. Big Josh, Z-Man, and Max. Stick Terry Taylor over, I guess. Sorry, I buried you so much. 54%, so we're not penalised. Let's run it. WCW Power Hour opening. La Pareja del Terra. I'm never going to be able to say that word right. Defeated Tommy Lane and the Stallion when Eddie pinned Lane with a frog splash. We got a video featuring the Steiners. DDP defeated Pat Rose in 341. Interview with Wyndham. Vinny Vegas defeated Gigante with the Snake Eyes. Interview with Tully, which he usually does a lot better if I'm honest. Liger defeating Mr. Hughes with a Shooting Star Press. Got an interview with Sting and Magnum TA on Lex and Harley Race. And then in the main event, Greg, Taylor and Johnny B. Bad defeated Z-Man, Big Josh and Mags, when Taylor pinned Z-Man with a flying forearm smash. 62, happy with that. Let's actually look. WCW says Saturday night. Where's main event? WCW main event results. Wait, not main event. Worldwide. I can only find these. What's this? NWA WCW Worldwide. We need 229. So all I have is Rude, Zbyszko, Anderson and Eaton defeated Pillman, Zenk, Simmons and Big Josh. That's the only match I've got from this. Booking team, we don't need to use anything. Locker room. Anderson and Benoit have been spending a lot of time together. It's kind of cool. Boop. So I guess we can make that the main event. It's a 4v4. Rick Rude, Larry Zbyszko, and Anderson and Bobby Eaton took on Brian Pillman, Ron Simmons, the Great Muta, and Face Mail. We can do Nikita. Make this the main event. Let's have Rick Rude, and the loser can just be Nikita. Storytelling. Book. I just want to edit this Zbyszko picture. Bloody hell. Larry Zbyszko, 1992. Oh, nice. There's a sweet looking picture of him. Perfect. And what happened on Saturday night? Greg Valentine and Terry Taylor defeated Ron Simmons and Big Josh to win the title. Does that happen? They did the show 1 hour away from a Super Brawl. Instead, we can have Greg Valentine and Terry Taylor beat Face Males. WCW Patriots. It just seems like a match we're booking ourselves. Greg can go over. Just need to fill some pans with some water. Yes, I salt my pasta water if anyone's interested. But it's gonna be a WCW, or is it just World Championship Wrestling? Okay. 4-minute hype pre-taped video. Let's just use the top boys this time. Nice. Oop. Move inwards. I think we can borrow some titles. Let's have... Where's Al? Not good. He's a heel again. So teams, add... yeah, Chaos Connection. Individuals, add team. So 2v2. Let's have the Chaos Connection take on Face, Min, Unrecognizable. They can take on Jimmy and Ivan, I guess. I've never also liked that photo of Valiant. I think it makes him look so much unnecessarily like older. That one's fine actually. And then Ivan Koloff again. Oh, did I pick this photo? I thought I picked that one for Ivan. Where's Nikita? Oh, that's Nikita. Oh, did I put it? Sorry, I'm the idiot. Someone's probably screaming at the screen when I saw that. Actually, we like that one. Let's stick Colonel De Beers over for the NWA World Tag Team. Nice. We can also do a 1v1. Let's have, where's King Kalua? Take on face, male, Big Josh. Stick King Kalua over. Nice. Let's put some bigger matches in. Let's have it. Maybe we don't do too many 2v2s. Let's have Steamboat and Sting take on Heel. They can take on Michael Hayes and Jimmy Garvin. Let's give Sting a bit of momentum going into it. And then a 1v1 of... I think overall we can afford to have Dustin lose to Heel, Male, Lex. Have I booked Lex in some other matches? Team with King Kalua and Power Out. Yeah, that's fine. Lex. Outside and Freer's finish on Dustin by Harley. That's fine with me. Angle, we can put in Super Brawl to add. Hype, pre-taped video. Yep, stick that at the end. Luger and Race. Mock the Rhodes family and Sting. So Lex Luger putting a promo with Harley Race on Sting, Dustin and Dusty. Storyline, where is National Wrestling Alliance? So Al, Major and Hilda Beers. Angle, if I have Al Marrell, put a promo, Hilda Beers and King Kalua. Kalua, the Beers and Madrill. Try to ruin the NWA name. They say they are best they happen to the National Wrestling Alliance in the years. Nice. Just the best thing to happen. Perfect, 3 minutes, happy with that. Down here. Steamboat and Sting. Steamboat tells Sting has it back at Super Brawl if he needs it. So Ricky Steamboat, he can be cutting a promo, same as Sting on Lex, who's off screen. And I guess Rick Rude, who's off screen. He's like, I have your back to. Nice. Let's have a WCW our recap. Add the usual guys, and then if we stick this here, we could just do it like a Clash of Champions one. TEW Clash of Champions rundown. Just a rundown of what went on, not the usual jazz. Perfect. Book segment. Stick that here. What does the analysis say? This might not end up being our best show, 78, so we wouldn't be penalised at least. We've got a World Championship Wrestling opening. The Chaos Connection defeated Valiant. Ooh, Jesse Ventura and Jim Ross are an awkward pairing. The Chaos Connection defeated Valiant and Ivan when De Beers pinned Valiant with a belly to back inverted slam to make defense number 2 of the World Tag Team titles. Commentary. I guess if we change GR with who do we have? Dusty's fine with me. And replace Jesse Ventura back with Magnum TA. Save, that's fine. So really we can just change the main event staff, change Ventura with Eric. The rest should mostly be fine. Just want to change the big matches. They're all big matches in WCW. Got a Clash of Champions rundown that went down well. Valentine and Taylor defeated the Patriots when Greg defeated Chip with a pile driver. Power Hour recap, which didn't do so well. Steamboat and Sting defeated the Freebirds when Sting submitted Garvin with a Scorpion Deathlock. Steamboat tells Sting he has his back at Super Brawl if he needs it. Kalua defeated Big Josh and Nate 21 with an atomic knee. Kalua, De Beers and Madrill tried to ruin the NWA name. They say they're the best thing to happen to the National Wrestling Alliance in years. In a bout which had great heat and decent wrestling, Lex defeated Dustin in 10:30 with an attitude adjustment pile driver, following interference from Race. Luger and Race mock the Rhodes family and Sting. And then in our main event, which again I thought would have done better, the Dangerous Alliance defeated Pillman, Nikita, Simmons and Muta when Rick Rude pinned Nikita following a rude awakening. Finish with the Super Brawl 2 ad. 67, not our best. We're at Super Brawl. If I do automatic selection, it's everything but TBS. Commercial push pay-per-view. We should be fine. Let's use this selection. Locker room incidents. Kalua and Gibson have to be separated for an argument. Probably comments he made on the NWA. Nice. Super Brawl 2. Let's go. Super Brawl 2. Hosted by Jim Ross and Jesse Ventura. Not this show. WCW Super Brawl 2 opening. The big one. The one we've all been waiting for. Hype. Pre-taped. Video. We'll change to 3 minutes once I get off this page. Sometimes I just click too much. Nice. 3 minutes. Job's a good one. In the ring, Ross introduces new colour container, Jesse Ventura. He disses Luger for going into hiding. Ventura advises Ross on wearing a black hat in order to resemble J.R. Ewing. Do anything. Match number 1, Luger against Pillman. But we're making this a 3v3. It's Jushin against Brian Pillman and Billy Robinson, who did officially win a match, but for some reason Pillman's been added. Titles for the WCW Light Heavyweight. Pillman hooks a bridging cradle as Liger misses a diving headbutt, and we have a new champion as Pillman wins. Steal the show. Perfect. That's fine, that's fine. Titles. Light heavyweight, if we edit the title. Maximum weight, I don't know, 320. Hook. Nice. No problems. After the match, Pillman and Liger share a hug as the Milwaukee faithful show their appreciation. Billy Robinson, is there a way? Are we too late to turn him heel? Yeah, that's fine. After the match, Pillman, Robinson, and Liger share a hug as the WCW faithful show their appreciation. Stick that here. Nice. First match down. Happy with Super Brawl. We just stick this pasta in. Just in case you were curious, I myself am having rigatoni shaped pasta, whilst the missus is having a chickpea pasta. Backstage, Missy Hyatt interviews Terry Taylor, who wants to teach Bagwell a lesson. So, Terry Taylor, he can be cutting a promo with Greg on Marcus Alexander Bagwell. 3 minutes backstage interview. And that leads us straight into the next man of new US champion which actually we haven't done, I'm happy with the other one, of Terry Taylor against Marcus Alexander Bagwell. Let me scroll my way down because there's so much going on this page of the guest. Shout out to Blogger Doom, but all's going on. Bagwell wins with a roll up. So flash pinfall. After the match, Taylor nails Bagwell with a 5-arm and delivers a DDT. So Terry Taylor. Let's do Greg and Mark. Outside Luca's dressing room, Hyatt interviews Race, who hypes his charge. Hyped his, what do you call it, client? Missy Hyatt is the interviewer. Harley Race with Lex off screen. And Sting off screen. It's an interview backstage. Improvise. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, Harley Race cutting a promo. There we go. That solved all the other pop-ups. We have Cactus Jack against Ron Simmons. That can't be done, so let's just do Vader against Ron Simmons. If we go down, Simmons wins. It's fine. What is Vader's match history with us like? 12 wins, 4 losses. What about in WCW? 3 wins, 3 losses. Yeah, we're building back up. That's fine with me. Happy with Simmons winning. We could probably make this a wild brawl as well. Wild brawl. After the match, Cactus nails Simmons with a double axe handle. Abdullah comes to the ring and wallops Simmons with his kendo stick as he and Cactus double team Simmons. Junkyard Dog, clad in tuxedo, hops the railing and headbutts a pair of security. Wally enters the ring and beats up Abdullah and Cactus. Yeah, I'm fine with that. After the match, Vader nails Simmons with the back handle. Meanwhile, Abdullah, yeah, he can come to the ring. And then hits Simmons with a kendo stick as he and Vader double team Simmons, GYD collect tops the rail and headbutts for it. Into the ring and beats up both Abdullah and Vader. Perfect. So, big booty hosses, Abdullah, Vader, Cactus, Ron Simmons, I guess, in a supporting role, and we can add JYD as a face. So Abdullah, he's not available. I guess Hughes. And Vader, Simmons. Hughes. So, Mr. Hughes. We can swap this around actually and have Big Van Vader run in. Ron Simmons. And Junkyard. Why? Tully's probably a heel, isn't he? Who do we have as a face? Dory? Dory? Dory it is. After the match, Hughes nails Simmons with a axe at him. Meanwhile, Vader comes to the ring. He then hits Simmons with a kendo stick as he and Hughes double team Simmons. Funk pops the railing and headbutts Vader to security while he enters the ring and he beats up both Hughes and Vader. Right. Dory. Alright, let's just save. Yep. So, instead of Vader, we have Mr. Hughes, face, male. Who do we have? Ivan, Boogie Woogie, Robinson. Muta. We'll do Muta. Nice. A great Muta. That's fine. Storylines. Miss Hughes catches. Great Muta. Supporting, I guess. That's fine. We have Vinny Vegas and Richard Morton against Z-Man and Van Hammer. Hammer and Z-Man win. I don't care enough about that, so let's do Diamond. Diamond Stud and Vinny Vegas against Face, Men. Z-Man, PN News, and Gigantea. Let's just do this and stick the Diamond Stud over. Nice. Prior to the next match, we'll revisit the opening segment to Halloween Havoc when Zbyszko crunched Wyndham's hand with a card. Oh. So, recap, Halloween Havoc. Nice. So, Barry Windham and Larry Zbyszko. Perfect. And then we have Steve Austin and Larry Zbyszko against Windham and Dustin. Steve Austin, Larry, Barry, Dustin. We'll probably make this like 15 minutes. I think this is when it is a big boy match. Rhodes knocked Zbyszko down to the mat and Windham mounted the opposite top turnbuckle. Upon hitting a top rope clothesline, Windham pins Zbyszko. Barry Windham pins Zbyszko. Nice. In preparation for the Stars Upcoming match, Bischoff dons a University of Michigan varsity jacket. That's fun, we can stick that in. So let's just really just do Rick Steiner cutting a promo with Scott Steiner against Anne and Bobby. Please tell me they're in the they're available this evening. Nice. We then have back in the locker room. Missy Hyatt discovers a ninja. With Hyatt being Hyatt, she thinks the ninja understands and speaks English. When the ninja opens Steamboat's dressing room, Steamboat conducts a fire ritual, which prompts the ninja to close the door and shoo Hyatt away. Medusa attempts to see Steamboat, and the ninja decides a request. Ultimately, Medusa slaps the ninja who chases her away. I don't need to do that gimmick. So there's a 2v2 in which the Steiners obviously take on Anne and Bobby. However, the match ends. Scott gave Eaton a Frankensteiner. There's new champions. But Nick Patrick comes to the ring to consult with Anderson and Adkins, and Medusa politics her way in. And according to Patrick, the Steiners were disqualified for striking Anderson. Controversial booking decision after expecting a Steiner victory. So Anne wins in a DQ finish. Titles, WCW World Tag Team. Nice. Let me just check on this pasta. It seems to. I hope you know I will not acknowledge this like one bit that I was cooking pasta during Super Brawl 2. I think it's disliked, but I actively despise draining pasta. There we go. Now we can forget about that. Finish this off. Oh. So we get promo airs for Wrestle War 92 live on pay-per-view May 17th. So hype, pre-taped video. Let's do all our usuals. Nice. Book. Hyatt witnesses Steamboat leaving this dressing room with the ninja. Now Rick Rude against Steamboat with the ninja. Rick Rude against Ricky Steamboat. Let's make this 21 minutes. After giving Rude a flapjack, Steamboat mounted the top turnbuckle and delivered a chop to the head, then mounted the opposite top turnbuckle, but the ninja whacked him twice with a cell phone. The ninja scampered back to the locker room, but who is he? With Steamboat out cold on the mat, Rude made the cover. Rude retains. Back in the locker room, Hyatt opens the dressing room for the Dangerous Alliance, and inside is Uncle Paul wearing the ninja costume. So, Rick Rude. Is technical masterclass alright? Just regular. Storytelling should be fine. It's an outside interference finish on Ricky Steamboat by Paul E. Dangerously. WCW United States Heavyweight. So back in the Dangerous locker room. Back in the locker room, inside Uncle Paul's wearing a ninja costume. So Missy Hyatt, interviewer, let's have Paul E. just cutting a promo on Rick Rude and Steamboat. The Steaminator. Perfect. Back in the locker room, inside, Paul's wearing a ninja costume. We then finally have the main event. Sting guillotines Luger with the top rope, charged, but flew over the top rope. Luger joins him and makes Sting taste the steel railing. Luger distracted Patrick. Race tried to pile drive Sting on the floor but got backdropped instead. Sting then re-entered via the top turnbuckle, hit a crossbody and pinned Luger so that we have a new champion. Lex against Sting. What should we make this? 25? Or 24? WCW World Heavyweight. Sting. Spectacle? Storytelling should be fine. And then we can just do Sting celebrates with all his mates. So just Steamboat, Sting, Dusty, Jesse the Face, Wyndham, Dustin, Magnum. Happy with that. Book, boom. Is that for the title? Is Sting winning? Yep. All looks good to me. 77%, so would not be penalised. Booking analysis looks good. Do you have any creative ideas? Sting creative finish, it's extremely risky. Let's not risk it. We then get Super Brawl 2 opening, 75, happy with that. Pillman in a bout which had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Pillman defeated Liger and Billy Robinson in a triple threat, when Pillman pinned Liger with an air Pillman to win the light heavyweight title. After the match, Pillman, Robinson and Liger share a hug as the WCW faithful show their respect. Missy Hyatt interviews Taylor, who wants to teach Bagwell a lesson. However, in a decent match, Bagwell defeated Terry Taylor in 10:26 by pinfall with a fast roll-up. After the match, Taylor nails Bagwell with the 5-arm and delivers a DDT. Outside of Luger's dressing room, Hyatt interviews Race, who hypes his client. In a wild brawl that had great wrestling and good heat. Oh, I forgot to change the fucking match. Simmons defeated Vader in 9:31 with a spine buster. After the match, Hughes nails Simmons with a double axe handle. Vader's in the ring and hits Simmons with a kendo stick as he and Hughes double team Simmons. Muta hops the railing and headbutts a pair of WCW security as he enters the ring to fight Hughes and Vader. The Diamond Mine defeated Z-Man, PN News and Gigante when the Stud submitted El Gigante. Prior to the match, we revisit the opening segment to Halloween Havoc 91 when Zbyszko crunched Wyndham's hand in a car door. Wyndham and Rhodes defeated the Dangerous Alliance of Austin and Zbyszko when Wyndham pinned Steve with a superplex. In preparation for the Steiners' upcoming match, Bischoff dons a University of Michigan jacket. In a good match, Arn and Bobby defeated the Steiners in 1609 when Rick was disqualified while fighting Arn to make defense number 1 of their tag team titles. We had a promo airing for Wrestle War 92. An exceptional match. Rude defeated Ricky Steamboat in 21-25 with a rude awakening following interference from Paul Lee to make defense number 4 of his United States heavyweight. Back in the locker room, Hyatt opens the dressing room for the Dangerous Alliance, and inside Paul is wearing the ninja costume. And finally, in our main event with fantastic heat and good wrestling, Sting defeated Luger in 24-23 with the Deathlock to win the World Heavyweight title. Sting celebrates with all the boys. 18 regions. Couldn't grow it in one. That's fine. Sting, say that you're awesome. Rick Rude, I'll take every opportunity to give you a hug. And Ricky Steamboat, whoa, point out was a good example. Sting seemed pleased, so did Rick. So did Steiner, you're a good example. Made 2 million off that. I don't give a shit about them. Everything else was class. Media Scrum. You recently made a sign of Robert Gibson. What plans do you have? And I have high hopes for him, so I'm getting behind him with a strong push early. Any comments on how awkward Jim Ross and Jesse Ventura sound on commentary? The pairing didn't work so often. We'll change some stuff around. You recently made a new sign of Art Barr. Again, I'd like to give him a push. People are calling Super Bowl 2 a success. What's your view? It was a huge success. The roster should be very proud. Ann Anderson talked openly about Joey Maggs and the new prodigy. Your thoughts? I think Joey Maggs will definitely benefit. Rip Rogers is not hidden his unhappiness in WCW. Is this affecting backstage role? Are you considering removing him from the roster? He needs to be a team player and stop rocking the boat. Boom. Big show for us. Big show. Happy with that. And with that said, I want to thank you all. I don't know why, I've never seen that say answered before. I'd like to thank you all for watching this. Sorry about the little intrusion of making pasta. It's what happens when you mix streaming and life. Yeah. Gonna be streaming some Tony Hawk's in a couple of hours. Again, so happy that the Tony Hawk's video did well. I'm over the moon. Thank you, Temu. Thank you for a lovely time. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a lovely day.